bought these offline from one of our candle suppliers. For the most part, they do pretty well. But all in all, I really want a silicone mold of one of these, because when you take these apart, they leave a little seam line around the middle that you have to carve off. So to make it a perfectly looking spear, you know, you just want something that looks really good. And I won't sell anything that doesn't look good. So next step is the wick. Probably should have wicked that before I put it together, but we'll go up here, get our wick. Pair of scissors. So what you do is you just figure out how much wick you need. So I'm probably gonna go with I'll go a little extra just in case, but you never know. I mean, should I cut it? Should I cut it? I don't know. I cut it. I cutted it. I cutted it. I don't know. All right, that's gonna be our wick. So one thing to do, if you have a stringy wick on the end and you have a tiny little hole that you have to stick it through like that, if you have a hard time poking it through there, just wet the tip and it should go. Of course, I'm doing this one-handed, holding the phone. Come on. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna go. Is it? Are you going through there, Mr. Wick? Yay. So just turn it over. From the other side. But what I would do before I pulled it through the other side, we have mold putty that you have to put down, because when you pour your wax, it's like that. So you don't want the wax to come pouring out that little hole. I gotta find my wax, my mold putty, which I don't know where it is. Let's just use some of this right here. This stuff is the worst stuff also. You can get it at Hobby Lobby. But I promise you, it's like chewing gum. You can see how let me stretch it out. See how it looks like chewing gum? That is not good stuff for molds. I'm telling you right now. I'm just gonna tear me a piece of this off. Give me 1 second. All right. Put that back up there. So you're gonna take this right here, get it all the way through. Just kind of put it over there. And we're gonna spread this like so. Make sure you get it. Just stop moving. Thank you. You don't want the wax to leak out the bottom. Again though, this stuff is like chewing gum. It's horrible. So now we can take this and pull it through. And voila. We have this wicked a candle. Now I'm doing this one-handed now. Keep in mind, I got this phone in one hand, in my other hand, and I'm right-handed too, so. You want your wick to come up through the middle. This is your bottom of the candle, so, but you want the wick to come up straight or your candle won't burn if you want to burn it. It'll mess you up. So, I think we're ready to pour. And I'm going to put this over here because if the wax starts to run out, you do not want it to run out on your countertop or wherever you're working. It'll collect in this tray right here. So this candle is going to be this color here. It's like a dark blue color. Here we go. I've got the pot. Can we do this? Can we? Am I making a mess? You want to pour it slow too, because if you don't, you'll get air bubbles or pits once the candle starts to form. And once it starts to set up, it is more difficult to get these bubbles out than anything. I don't know if you can see the bubbles in there, but just pour it slow. And I'll show you a trick also once you get it up. Alright. One thing that I have learned by doing these, don't fill it all the way to the top, because you have to let your air come out the side and then up the top here. You see these air bubbles, right? Right here. Those will start pitting. So what you want to do is take your little something small, just start tapping it. That'll make all the air bubbles come to the top. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. So until you see no air bubbles at all, because you want your candle to look the best as possible. You want it to look the goodest. You want it to look like the goodest candle you've ever done. Alright, so see there's a couple bubbles right there still. So just tap that around like that. Voila. They still keep coming. Just keep tapping. But I'm telling you, once this candle wax starts setting up, it'll start pitting on you around the edges. And once it dries, it'll look crap. It'll look like crap. I've got a candle in there right now to show you that it started pitting real bad. Oops. Thunder, hear the thunder. I don't know if you can tell, but there's these little bubbles that keep coming up from the bottom up. That's air trying to get out of the candle. That's what you want. You want these bubbles to come to the top. You do not want these bubbles on the side. And once you're done with that, you can take this, throw it over the side, or whatever you want to do with it, because now you got to get this straight. And while it's still wet and liquid, you can just leave your wick just hanging over the side like that. It's not going to hurt nothing. Because when you do your repours, you can always go back and set your wick back straight. So, we do not have any leaks. The mold putty's holding, doing his job. Always, if you do this with a, what do you call these things? Double burners, whatever. I use this when I go camping. So what I do is I take just a regular pot, an old pot, fill it up with water, set your candle bucket inside it like that, put your wax down there and you'll melt it down. Now to get this color, what I did to get that color is I took some black dye, which is black gray, but it's black. And then I used some cobalt blue. I took 6 drops of cobalt blue, 9 drops of black dye to get that color there. And now we wait. So there we have it, waiting for that ball to form up. These take roughly about 9 hours to set. So by the time we go to bed tonight, it should almost be done. Candle making is not something that you can do in a rush. It takes time. It takes patience, which I don't have patience, but I do it anyway. A lot of testing, a lot of playing with your equipment. This is see what you like. And then what I do is I post pictures online. If people like the idea, I'll get I'll go to different social websites and just post pictures, and like Pinterest. I think I got a Flickr account, just picture sites. And if people like them, then I know I'm on to something. If I don't get any hits, if the people don't like them, then I know, I don't know about the color. It could be the color, it could be, So far, our #1 seller in our candles, all the candles that we do, are these things right here. The 4-inch, we call them spears. Spears. I'll call them balls because they look like balls. But, if you go on candle sites anywhere, they're called spears, if I can pronounce that. SPHERES. Right there. You can go on our Etsy account and find them there too. So you guys order from us. I mean, come on, help out a man. So put my kids to college. But yeah, make sure that you're always putting water, because this is roughly around 180 degrees. On this type of wax here, it's just regular paraffin wax. You have different waxes, which is a whole nother video, because there's like 20 different waxes out there. But this is paraffin wax. The melting point's around 150 to up to 200. If you go over 200, you may explode. So don't get it over 200 degrees. As you can see, it boils, and it's sitting at about 175 right now. Hot. So if you have children like we do, we have 3 small children that run to the kitchen while we're making candles. We try to keep them out, but they can get behind you wanting candy or whatever. Just have to be careful with what you're doing. Just make sure you're aware of your surroundings when you're making candles. Here really soon, I'm going to have a candle shop or candle shed, I guess is the best way to put it, where I can keep the candle making out of the house. We decided to build a little she shed. And also, one thing you want to do with wax, if you ever make a mistake, you can always change the color darker. It's hard to get this to go lighter, but keep your wax clean. That's your testing. You can always reuse it. Always about saving material, because stuff's not cheap. You're going to go through a lot of paper towels, and that's to wipe your molds with when you're done. We got all kinds of stuff. These are all of our molds that we've made so far. And So this is an extra porting pot. We have 3. We actually have 4. So there's 2 here, 2 there. I tested this candle the other day. It was a rose candle. I want to make sure, as you can see, they burn right down the middle. That's what you want. You want a long-lasting burning candle, and that's what we strive for here. I need to get my snow cone maker down. It's a little bit cold to make my snow cones though. Anybody have one of those? Summertime? When I was in Gatlinburg this past summer, that is the one thing I missed the most. As far as my things go, that I cook with. That and my cappuccino maker. If you guys remember when I was in the camper, that was what I had up there behind me all the time. You guys remember when I bought that? So again, the blue ball of misery. I hate doing ball candles, but they're a top seller. So you experiment, test it out, and go from there. Guys, my kids will be home in a little bit, so I'm going to clean up, and we may get back online here a little bit later. I'm editing a lot more videos. Anybody that wants to get into the candle business, don't, because it's a headache. Nah, it's fun. It's cool. My wife did this when we first met, and then when we went to craft shows, people were selling candles. I'm like, well, why can't we do that? You know, really not that hard to make. Just, you know, take a little bit of your time, because this one candle right here is going to have to set and probably till about 10 o'clock tonight. It's about almost, I guess, 2:33 o'clock Alabama time. So about around 10 o'clock, it should be almost done. Almost. That's one candle. So imagine when you're doing about 40 or 50. You always want to make sure. Oh, let me back up on this candle 1 second. This candle here weighs 1 pound. This is 1 pound of wax. That's one candle. But you always want to make sure that you put in extra wax for repours, because if you don't, you're going to mess yourself up when it comes to repours, and you're going to have to restart. So just make sure you have extra wax. Make sure when you put your wax in that you dye it all together. Don't put in extra wax after you've already got your dye set, because once you add more wax, that color becomes less and less and less. It gets a little bit lighter. So just keep that in mind. And keep up with how many drops that you make your colors with, because if someone says, hey, I like that blue ball, and you can't remember how many drops of color you had, then you're going to be second guessing yourself and trying to figure out how to get that color. So let's just keep a couple of pointers. I can sit here all day long and tell you about candle making. But for me, it's fun because I get to use my hands. I'm sitting in my house, as you can see. It's raining outside. I saw Noah's Ark go by the window here. There's a giraffe out here. I think I saw 2 zebras. Is anybody else's house, are y'all seeing animals line up? Like, they're coming 2 by 2 at our house. I don't know why. But, they're showing up like 2 at a time. And you guys are getting snow, you suck. Just to let you know. I saw some pictures earlier I'm going to post later. My friend sent me that they got like, I don't know, inch of snow on the ground. I think Muscle Shoals, Huntsville. And then of course up there where I was at in Gatlinburg, they're getting like 3 or 4 inches. So got a bunch of pictures coming. Some videos coming. Right now I got to get this mess cleaned up before my kids get home. But you guys have a great rest of the afternoon, and I'll talk to you soon. Talk to you later. Bye.